Hello, friends. Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I have for you a lap of the fish room. There have been some changes in here. So let's get right into it, get you some updates, and take a look at what's going on in here. And let's go ahead and get right to it. We'll start with the 210 gallon, and the fish in this tank are doing very, very well. They're following me around because they're hungry. I was a little concerned about the green tear eating, but I gave him a little bit of krill and he went crazy for it, so I think he's doing better. But otherwise, it's business as usual in this tank. Gave it a real good vacuuming yesterday, getting a lot of the junk that settles in this kind of a substrate. See my two chocolate cichlids here. Never the same color twice. Relatively peaceful as far as cichlids are concerned. Kind of a purple brown. Very pretty. Big giant vieja. Oscars seem to be thriving. Firemouth is looking good. So Vinny's hanging around, chilling, heading for her cave. Jack Dempsey is growing very, very slow. Definitely bigger than when I first got her, but they don't grow that fast, I guess. I put a cave in here, this big giant cave that I have from, I picked it up from Unique Underwater Galleries, and I picked it and I put it in there with the idea that maybe the red tear that's in here will take to it. At first he just ignored it, but now he's inside of it. And so what I'm thinking is when I move him over, I'll move this cave over too, and that way he'll have an instant sort of familiarity and spot that he can get into. Not sure if you can see him in there. He'll come out if I throw some pellets. I've been also trying to hand feed him a little bit, and he's been going after it. I rearranged the tank a little bit to get that big cave in there, and you know, he'll outgrow the cave, of course, eventually. I mean, he'll get too big, too fat for it, but for now it's kind of cool that he's got a little place that he can kind of go into and chill. We'll come back and take a look at him in a minute. The 55 gallon, adjust the light a little bit. This white substrate overwhelms the camera. 55 gallon, I rearranged it a little bit to move some of the plants away from the water movement. A little bit of that black algae kind of creeping back a little, just a little bit, not much, but some, enough to prompt me doing something about it. But so now I've got a kind of a cluster of plants here on this side. I kind of like the look of it. Have an open swim area and then a bit of a jungle over here with hiding places that the neons really enjoy. Since rearranging, the neons have been coming out a lot more, and that's good. Now, one of the reasons why that algae might be creeping back is because the phosphate pads in the hang-on back filter might be exhausted. So I'm going to get some more of those and replace the ones that are in the filter. A little Sprite up there. You got this weirdo. It's a 90-gallon. Everybody in here is doing great. Hey, there's the red shoulder. He doesn't come out too often. Are you familiar with Severums? Can you tell if that's a male or a female? He scares the heck out of the red spotted, who's always kind of swimming with one eye on him. Buenos Aires tetras and the silver dollars are doing great, continuing to grow. The silver dollar's got some black in the body. It's kind of interesting. More of a prominent red anal fin. I think it's a male trying to court that female. The equivalent of a silver dollar breeding dress. The geos are rocking and rolling. AC Hecli. Let's go behind this tank to the 29 quarantine tank. And these electric blue Ocharas are just doing really, really well. I'm really happy with them. How active they are, how they've been eating, just how good they look overall. We're probably 10 to 15 days away from putting them into the 55-gallon community tank. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in there. They'll definitely be a centerpiece fish for that aquarium. Especially that larger one. He's just really beautiful, really popping. Got a large, a medium, and a extra small. So I got all three sizes. Here's the SAE. Just a whole family of pagoda snails in here. As well as my little clamshell snail back there in the back. Really cool snail, like something you'd pick out of the ocean. Little bushy nose. Go over to the planted, I don't know if you call this planted, all it has really on it is Sprite. But this is the Livebearer tank. See all my little fry that have somehow stayed off the radar of the hungry platies and mollies. I even think I've got a couple baby guppies that are coming along. But these fish are as active and colorful as always. To be honest, I really didn't think I'd enjoy a Livebearer tank as much as I have. Just all the different colors and the activity level. I've been just really happy with it. The color on that guppy. Beautiful guppy. Lyre tail here. Looking great. I've been feeding him the Extreme Community. And I'll be trying some other foods with him as well, like some of the Northfin Community and Sarah. So like all my fish, they get a blend of food. Here's the betta tank. Little Dumbo. I'll tell you something interesting. I had to remove the plecos from the red tear tank because he was harassing them. And when I took the pleco caves out, I found a coolie loach. A coolie loach that I didn't even know I had inside one of the caves. So he was moved over to this tank. So I've got like 3 or 4 coolie loaches in this tank on this side, along with a pleco. And then on this side is a betta and a pleco. Oh, there he is. Usually hangs out near the back. Love the way Dumbos move. So pretty, so elegant. Take a quick look at the 300. Can you tell they're hungry? They're all over on this side. As I move over, they'll follow me. But this tank pretty much is business as usual. I moved that larger rock back a little bit because the trout was building up a pit again. And of course I didn't want him to do that because once he does that, he goes a little crazy. So that's a roundup, that's a lap, and that's a wrap of this week's lap of the fish room. Any questions, comments, or anything, just put them in the comments or in the chat if you're watching this live, and I'll be happy to address them. That vieja is just a big, giant, beautiful beast. But this Oscar is already comparable in size, and so I suspect he'll be much bigger than that vieja ultimately. Certainly thicker. The albino's growing a little slower. And then of course we've got the green tear and the Jack Dempsey, which should be putting on a lot more size, but they're growing slow, taking their time, and that's okay. I promised you a look at the red tear. He's come out of the cave, and here he is. Just a beautiful fish, courtesy of Whip, who made a trip down here to bring him to me. Love the colors and markings on this fish. Keeping his eye on me. He wants some pellets. So there's the lap of the fish room. Thank you so much for for sitting through that. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to share any comments you might have or tips in the comments section below. If you like this channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to support the future creation of content, consider becoming a monthly supporter of the channel by being a Patreon. And the details on that are underneath the video in the description, and sometimes I put them as a pinned comment. So thank you for tuning in, my friends, and that's it for me. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.